And then I got to thinking, you know, I do claim to be a constitutionalist. And it is in the Constitution that states can initiate the process for amending the Constitution. I have a contradiction to resolve. Not being particularly good at cognitive dissonance, I decided to resolve it. I decided that Article 5 is not that red button of danger that is so shiny, but you can never touch. It's not the fruit of the tree of Eden that we must not ever chew on for fear we might learn things we shouldn't know. It is an essential part of the balance of power between the states and the federal government. And that balance of power is central to preserving our freedom, because even Alexander Hamilton, no fan of states' rights, a big fan of bailing out his banker friends. Even Alexander Hamilton in Federalist 28 recognized that the genius of our system more than anything else was the fact that we give the people the option to look out to our agents, the states and the federal government, and throw their weight into the scales of one or the other, depending on who at that moment happened to be the best protectors of our liberty. It is the genius that divides power between two governments in the same geographical area that creates a dynamic decentralization of power that prevents the bad guys from concentrating and seizing and leveraging that power to bad ends. And Article 5 is a critical component of that balance. Indeed, as Professor Baker highlighted, Article 5 was the ultimate sales point to the states in urging them to ratify the Constitution. And how do I know that? Well, first let me ask, how many in this audience are attorneys or would-be attorneys? All right. I'm going to say something, I think everyone who even knows an attorney or seen an attorney, I think we'll all agree with. We will all agree that the final argument of a legal argument is the most important argument. You either win the case or lose the case at the final argument. Well, guess what Federalist 85 is? It is the final argument of the Federalist Papers. It is the last pamphlet designed to convince the states to ratify the Constitution. It is, by its very nature, and many of the founders were indeed lawyers, it is supposed to be the principal reason why the states should ratify the Constitution. If you lose this argument, you've got nothing. What is the focus of Federalist 85? The focus of Federalist 85 is to tell skeptical states you do not need to have another constitutional convention. Why? Because in Article 5 and in its power for you to apply to Congress to call a convention for proposing amendments, that is all you need to erect barriers against an